In this video, we're gonna count down the top 10 worst things that Ash Ketchum has ever done. Ashy Boy is not a perfect person. I mean, at times throughout his journey, he's made mistakes, he's goofed up, he's handled things wrong, and that's a-okay because honestly, it'd be boring if Ash was perfect all the time. I love him being a flawed character, you know? So yeah, let's talk about the worst things that Ash Ketchum has ever done. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button and the subscribe button if you enjoy, and now let's dive right into it. Number 10. He traded away Butterfree. Early on in the show, Ash and his Butterfree battled this gentleman and his Rattata, and Butterfree dominated the battle. Yet after the battle, Ash agreed to trade his Butterfree for the man's Rattata, only cause the gentleman wanted to. So Ash literally traded away his Butterfree for no reason. Luckily, he later realized it was a mistake and got Butterfree back, but Ash, being so willy-nilly to trade away the first ever Pokemon he caught, a Pokemon that meant so much to him, that was absolutely one of the worst things that Ash ever did. Number 9. He brought only Palpitoad to his gym battle. So Ash's genius strategy to defeat Elisa was to bring only Palpitoad to a 3 vs 3 battle. Ash really thought that Palpitoad's ground typing would be enough to sweep Elisa. He didn't even think about the alternative of if Palpitoad is defeated. And obviously Palpitoad did end up being defeated. So Ash really embarrassed himself and he had to run from the gym battle to go and get another Pokemon. That was one of his dumbest moments ever, dude. Number 8. He skipped some of May's contests. Back in Advanced Generation, there were a couple of times that Ash actually skipped some of May's contests so that he could train his Pokemon instead. This never ever sat right with me at all. May was supposed to be like Ash's best friend, you know? And Ash knew how much contests meant to her. He could have easily trained after the contests ended, so yeah, those couple of times that he skipped our contests and he wasn't there to support her, those really were some of his lowest moments in the entire show if you ask me. Number 7. He never actually got Misty a new bike. After Ash trashed Misty's bike by accident at the beginning of the show, there was always an expectation for him to get a new one at some point. That was why Misty first began traveling with him, and yet this never actually happened. At the end of Johto, Misty actually did end up getting her bike repaired by a Nurse Joy, but that was a total surprise to Misty and Ash. Ashy Boy had no part in it happening. I just think that Ash could have really showed how much Misty meant to him by taking the initiative to go and get Misty a brand new bike by himself, rather than Nurse Joy doing it, you know? But then again, looking at the prices of bikes in the Pokemon world, maybe I can't blame the kid for not wanting to fork out that amount of money. Number 6. That whole Pikachu versus Panpour battle. Mr. Ketchum somehow forgetting how to battle and allowing his Pikachu, who had defeated a Latios just a few episodes earlier, to lose a battle against the first gym leader's Panpour? That was just abysmal, dude. I can honestly forgive Pikachu losing to Snivy because he had his power zapped away, but dude, Pikachu losing to Panpour? That is just inexcusable if you ask me. I really think that that was Ash's worst battle moment ever. Number 5. He insulted a random person's appearance for absolutely no reason. Way back in Johto, Ash bumped into this woman called Hagatha, and Ash, totally unprovoked by the way, he literally told her that he's only seen things as ugly as her in his nightmares. That was the first ever thing that Ash said to Hagatha. Ash, was that really necessary? This poor innocent woman did absolutely nothing wrong, and you just attacked her appearance for absolutely no reason. That was absolutely one of the most shockingly mean things Ash has ever said. I would have told him to get lost. Number 4. He was super mean to Bayleaf. Shortly after Ash's Chikorita evolved, she charged at Ash and tackled him to show her love and affection for him. You know, the way she always did as a Chikorita. But because she was now a Bayleaf, she wasn't used to how big and powerful her body was, so she accidentally knocked Ash over while trying to hug him. Because of this, Ash got really mad and he snapped and he yelled at Bayleaf. He basically told her to get away from him and stay away from him, before then storming off to spend time with his other Pokemon. And man, Bayleaf was absolutely distraught and heartbroken by this. She absolutely loved Ash, she adored him, he's her favourite person ever, and Ash basically turned around and told her to get away from him and that he didn't want her around, when all she was trying to do was be loving towards him. Watching Ash being so unbelievably mean to Bayleaf for no reason, it was genuinely really upsetting, you know? So for me, the way that Ash treated Bayleaf in this episode was absolutely one of the worst things he ever did. Number 3. He released the spirit of the King of Pokelantis. Back in the Battle Frontier, Brandon warned Ash about the dangers of some ancient ruins, and about how they were the home of an ancient ruler, the King of Pokelantis, who once almost managed to conquer the world. So, what did Ash do in return after Brandon warned him about all these dangers? He completely ignored Brandon's warnings, and he foolishly and stupidly charged headfirst into the ruins, and then unintentionally released the ancient spirit of the King of Pokelantis, which very quickly possessed his body, and then began a new plan to conquer the entire world. Luckily, Brandon managed to stop the spirit afterwards, but dude, Ash's uncontrollable arrogance and immaturity in this episode, it literally ended up putting the entire world at risk. This really was one of the worst things Ash ever did. Number 2. He literally tried to force Rotom Dex to stay by his side. In the Sun and Moon anime, Ash's companion, the Rotom Dex, had a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to basically become a main star on his favorite TV show ever. He was obsessed with it, dude, and he was so excited to become a part of the show and to travel the world with the show. But then, Ash, on the other hand, Ash's reaction to all of this was absolutely abhorrent, dude. Ash yelled at Rotom in front of everybody, and Ash accused him of leaving them behind without thinking about them, and he accused Rotom of not caring for him. And listen, if you thought that was bad enough, well, it's about to get 10 times worse. Cause Ash then turned around and said that he's not gonna let it happen. He refuses to let Rotom Dex leave him. And I can't believe I'm actually saying this about Ash Ketchum, but Ash grabbed a Pokeball, and then he tried to forcefully catch Rotom against Rotom's will, so that he could stop Rotom from leaving. This entire scene was genuinely just horrendous, dude. It goes against everything that Ash Ketchum stands for as a character. Ash has always accepted when his friends need to leave to go and explore other opportunities, and Ash would never force a Pokemon to be caught. He would never treat a Pokemon just like an object that he owns. And yet, here we are, Ash did both of those things to Rotom Dex. I honestly don't care if Ash was angry or upset, and if that's why he acted this way. His actions in this scene were genuinely indefensible. It was completely out of character, and it was just the worst thing ever. And now, number 1. The way he treated Pikachu in Pokemon Journeys episode 30. Words can't even begin to explain how much I hate what Ash did in this episode. Ash completely and utterly ignored and neglected Pikachu and Pikachu's desires for an entire day, all because he was so tunnel-visioned on training Riolu. So then Pikachu, after a whole day of being ignored and neglected by Ash, he got so fed up from being treated so badly that he went to sleep. But then Ash woke Pikachu up, and he basically scolded Pikachu, essentially telling him to stop being so lazy and to be more like Riolu. This was after a whole day of Pikachu really wanting to train and battle, while Ash just ignored him the entire time. So yeah, understandably Pikachu ran away because he was absolutely heartbroken, because the person who was meant to be his best friend, his trainer for this entire journey, he was treating Pikachu like absolute dirt in this episode. Ashy Boy utterly neglected him, and then had the cheek to insult him for being sad about it, and this was in their final series together too, after they had been through so much together, and yet Ash was willing to treat him like that, dude. Ash treating his first ever Pokemon, his best friend, his life partner, in such a horrendous way for no real reason. To me, this was absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, the worst thing that Ash Ketchum has ever done. So there we have it. Those were my personal top 10 worst things that I can remember Ash Ketchum ever doing. Let me know below what you think Ash Ketchum's worst ever moments are, and let me know whether you agree or disagree with any of the picks that I chose. We're on the road to 150,000 subscribers, so I would really deeply appreciate your help to get us there by hitting the subscribe button and hitting the thumbs up button. Be sure to join our community Discord server and follow me on Twitch and Twitter using the links in the video description, and that's gotta be everything, man. So thank you all so much for watching, and best wishes until we meet again!